So I'm using that bankrate.com calculator just so you know what I'm doing. So what would happen if you had to borrow the 10,250 in the fall of this year, and if you didn't want to, I mean, what's going to happen because it's the unsubsidized loan, they start dinging you interest right off the bat. So if you only wanted to make interest payments on it, so what I did, so what they do is usually 10-year loan. So I said 10 years, that's how much you're borrowing in the fall. It is showing that's what your total monthly payment would be if you wanted to start paying off the principal. Okay, then this amortization table, which is down here, this shows like how much of your payment goes towards the principal of the loan and how much towards the interest. So this number here, this $45.36 number, that's how much your interest would be on the full loan. So if you only paid that amount, you could pay that amount and not have the interest accrue. Otherwise, that gets added on every month. So by the end of the 2 years, you'd have that much more debt just for this fall loan. So that's how these unsubsidized loans work. I would have to see about, I don't know if we can help you out with that or what, but that's one way to, when people take an unsubsidized loan out, either they get the loan amount will billed by that amount every month, or you have to get somebody to pay for that interest, or where they work and pay it off as they go along, so that the loan amount doesn't build. And that's at 5 point, what did they say? 5.31% is what you can get the loan through the school as that unsubsidized loan. So that would be for the fall, and then you'd have to borrow that same amount for the spring. So you'd be paying $46 or $45.36 for the first 6 months, and then for the second semester, you borrow twice that amount, which is what is that? $20,500. Same thing. So your payment would jump up to 22. That's to start paying. So in the spring, that was what if you consolidated the loans, and often they don't till you're done. So, but the interest only. Let's find that amortization schedule. The amortization schedule, the interest per month would bump up to $90.71 per month. Now, if you only did this for the last year, and that, remember, that's only $20,000 of the $50,000 you'd have to come up with, or is it almost or $40,000 you'd have to come up with for that second year. So you'd have to do probably a second loan to pay for the other amount of money. The other 40,000. So you have to think 4 times. And this is the most you can borrow at this interest rate. The other interest rate, as I sent you, I think is 6.3. So what would that be? 6.31, I think it was. It's going to crank it up a little bit. Yeah, see, it's about $10 more. And then what did we do with the interest? That's 107. So together, the two loans would be almost $200 in interest, just interest for the second half of your last year. Now, it might be worth it to borrow the cheaper interest rate for the first year, and then that way you could borrow. You'd have the $10,000 you didn't spend first year to have that for the second year, so you wouldn't have to borrow quite so much, or you could take it because you get another loan at the cheaper interest rate. So, so basically, what you've got going here is you'd have about $40,000 worth of debt. What would that going to be? And we'll go with it's going to be a little less than that because of the 63 or the 6.3% if you have one. If you had to borrow that whole thing for the second half of the year, once you graduated, you'd have a $450 per month payment. Pretty steep, but it's not ridiculously high. We could still help you, once you get done with school, probably. So, I don't know, just some things to think about. It's not unreasonable. People are gonna owe this much money coming out of their undergraduate degree, so you're okay. It isn't like it's ridiculous. And the thing about going to school in New York, you're gonna make more connections. Maybe you'll get a better paying job because you've got those connections. But let's see whatever all these other schools come through with, if anybody else accepts you and with these other ones. So don't get discouraged.